Welcome back to Morning Mix. Hamburg, South Carolina was a bustling waterfront town along the banks of the Savannah River, a 19th century trading town that disappeared. It's a story that many don't know about, which is why local author Barbara Seaborn has put it to paper. Monumental Legacy, the rise and fall of Hamburg, South Carolina, and she is joining us this morning to talk more about her book.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for asking me.
We're happy to have you here. So this is a very interesting subject, one close to home that many people may not know about. Tell us what led you to want to write about Hamburg.
Well, I first wrote about the history of Columbia County after we moved here from Maine. My husband was stationed at Fort Gordon. And I said, someone asked me, how long were you interested in writing? I think when I was judged the best letter writer in the 3rd grade. I've been writing letters and things like that, and little articles and things. When we moved here, I became familiar with the editor of the Columbia County News-Times, and I wrote for them for quite a while. And the Historical Society in Columbia County asked me if I would consider writing the history of Columbia County, a book. And I said, a book? I've never had a book published. And so I did that, and that's this book, As Long as the Rivers Run. And that, I won't go into that. We don't have time for me to talk about the title. But anyway, after I finished that book a few years later, the Columbia County chairman at that time was from North Augusta, and he now lives on the area that was Hamburg.
Right.
And he said, how would you like to write the story of Hamburg? And I said, oh, I was rooting for the Bulldogs, and now I'm going to root for the Gamecocks. Excuse me, and I don't like football. But anyway, I love writing. But the Hamburg story, it was because I was asked to do it.
Right.
And I didn't know anything about it. And I thought, oh, this won't take long. The Columbia County book took a long time because it's thicker. And it covered a lot of territory. In fact, they asked me, why did you go back to the origin of the planet? And I said, well, people came here because of the river and the climate. So anyway, so I thought, well, this will be easy. But then I found out that it's very controversial, the story.
Right. People
depend on their race, which story that they believed. And I wanted so much. I started this book before the 2016 election.
Right.
And I wanted to get it out before then because it had so much to do with, let's not act like this, like they acted so long ago. And I didn't get it finished, obviously, until 2 years ago.
This came out in 2021. Were you surprised just how many people aren't aware of the backstory of Hamburg?
Yes, I was, but I was surprised. I didn't know that there was still a remnant of the Civil War prejudice, you know, the racial prejudice. Mm-hmm. Because coming from Maine, I didn't know anything about the South until we came here because of Fort Gordon. And I had a lot to learn.
And if people at home are interested, your book is available on Amazon. Is that
yes,
correct?
It certainly is. Okay. But I have them in my car and in my house.
And book will travel.
And you don't have to travel or pay the postage. I even pay the sales tax at the end of the year. Okay. So you save money.
Look at that.
Okay, then this is definitely worth it. Any future projects for you, Barbara?
Someone asked me, see, I've spent 20 years between the 2 books writing local history. And they say, what's your next book? And I say, no!
We've about covered it all. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on the show and talking about both your books.
Thank you so much.
Again, available at Amazon, or she has some.
Or they're also available locally at the Arts and Heritage Center in North Augusta.
Great place to catch.
Morris Museum bookstore, and just areas like that.
Great. Check that out at the Morris or at the Arts and Heritage Center in North Augusta. Barbara Seaborn, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Great book on this.
Thank you.
All right.